All right, guys. So I'm gonna do a recap, and the recap today is very, very important. I had a really, really bad day on day trading, and it's just because I broke my rule and I traded something that I didn't have any trade book on it. You know, for those of you who know me, I really have I don't have any trade book trading in the pre-market or in the first 1 minute candlestick. I have no trade book. Even if I make money on it and you see me, it's all just pure luck, pure chance. So FSL was gapping down like 10%. I don't know exactly why. There was some news or something on it. But in the pre-market came above the VWAP. I kind of got a long bias on it and said, you know what, if it holds the VWAP, it could be a good opening range breakup. Maybe it's a little bit oversold. And at the opened really, really strong and just broke through the VWAP. And I just jumped in way too early. You know, I have no business really doing anything in the first minute candlestick on it. Brian jumped in there, but that's not really a good excuse because Brian has a different trading strategy and different trade book on it. So I kind of chased it. I got the FOMO on it, and I paid a really, really bad price on it. And I got in at 1550, just almost dropped a point on me. And that was a really, really bad loss that I had to accept on FSL. And then it came back up and I said, okay, you know what, maybe that was something. I went long for the break of high of the day. We did break of high of the day. I sold some at the break, and then it was kind of consolidating, and I told myself, oh, this is an amazing consolidation. It's going to go back up. I added even more on it, and then another big drop on me. So these two drop, I mean, I don't blame myself too much for the second trade. You know, even though I lost on it, you know, I really don't. The only blame that I have here was just because I was so emotional from the first loss that I should have got stopped out here, but I just kind of held it and I said, maybe it's come back, maybe it's come back. It wouldn't, because the stock is also down 10%. The weakness is in the nature of the stock. It's not that every pullback is being bought back up. You know, again, remember that when you're trading long for a stock that is down 10%, you got to remember that this is usually not an A setup. And that added even more into my loss, which you know, accounts for almost $36,000 in these two trades. So that was really bad, and I really, really blame myself for breaking the rule. You know, I just got, you know, just followed Brian and no excuse. I mean, he did trade based on his own trade book, and I shouldn't really have done that. Same thing happened with CCIV, but I don't blame CCIV very much. So I waited for CCIV. CCIV on a daily chart, I mean, you know, popped up really, really interesting. We had one level around 34 something here and around this area. At the 1 minute candlestick, the volume was great. I love the volume and order flow. You know, just above the VWAP, I jumped in long for a 1 minute opening range breakup, and it did drop on me, and I got to stop that. But that was okay. That's okay. I'm 100% okay with this loss. There's nothing to blame. I think the stock was strong, popped up above the VWAP. It just didn't work out, dropped on me. And it, you know, hold the VWAP, came back up. I went long. I added more. Brian just also jumped me, and then, you know, from 31.25 in won all the way up to 33. So we got a really, really, really nice move we got from that. And then it, you know, we had a little bit holding. Maybe I was thinking maybe we get to above 33 and came down, and I got to stop down. So two trades on it, and I'm actually very, very proud of it. Even though the first trade I got a bad loss on it, but it's okay because it was part of my trade book. You know, I waited for the first candlestick closes. It was bullish. It was not too extended from the VWAP. You know, I got to stop that, but that's okay. I don't blame myself. So that's very important. I mean, there are two losses, FSL and CCIV. One of them I really should blame myself. The other one, that's part of trading. And you know, as I see, you know, the second trade that I came back in there actually worked really, really nicely, exactly what I wanted to do. So that's it. Apple also gave me a really hard time. You know, Apple, you know, was gapping up 2%. It sold up, came up. I went long, and it did pop up, but I didn't scale out, and then huge drop on me, and I got stopped out. The problem with this trade was I already had two positions, so this was my third position, and I should have starting scaling out because Apple really did broke the pre-market high. So, and I was really expecting a break of pre-market high. I went back in there after it squeezed up, added more. It did pop a little bit, sold some for the break, and then after that, this pullback, I added more, and eventually I got stopped out at the break-even point just to see that the move that I was expecting is happening. But again, really, you can't blame yourself too much. It's just Apple was dog breakfast. So, I had the lost $36,000 in FSL, some on Apple, some on CCIV, and as you know, TQQ, I was holding it during this sell-off, so I'm just still holding it. And also I have some ARC. So it was a really bad day, so I sold some of my TQQ position at the open. So as you see, also people saw that I added a couple of $100,000 more on TQQ at the open, some in the pre-market, some at the open, from 93, 92 all the way up to 95. I think I sold the last piece somewhere around here. So now it's still dripping higher, which is good. So don't look at this $2,000 loss, $3,000 loss. My day trade without this TQQ would have been really, really a nightmare. So, and again, I blame myself on it because I really shouldn't have traded that. I mean, that's just part of my learning process. There is no regret in trading, only lessons and own lessons. That's it. So I'm gonna hold TQQ. I mean, Qs are bouncing back. We have this engineering markets in the morning that Jared is doing. So, come early in the chat. He starts at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And he's going to talk about these sector rotations and all of this stuff. As you see, IWM is down 1%, but because it was making all-time high and was really extended on a daily chart, as you see here. And now the money is flowing to the Qs, all of the technology sectors that are really, really sold off. And now it's bouncing back. Apple is one of the leading ones that sold off all the way up to 116. And now it looks like it's really want to back. I mean, they have a long way to go to back to all-time high, but definitely money is flowing toward Qs right now. And TQQ is the leverage one. We also have some calls on it on P Capital. Let's see how it does, but it's going really, really well. So there's a couple of announcements, guys, I want to mention that. First is this Thor is going to be away this week from, I think, today until the end of the week. So his time in the chat room is going to be covered by Tiffany and Dima at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I think it starts tomorrow. And for his mentorship session, Wednesday, yeah. So Wednesday and Thursday, Tiffany and Dima are gonna cover his time, and also on Thursday mentorship session, it will be Brian and I. So we cover his mentorship session, both Brian and I. So that's the news. I don't think there's anything else. Well, yeah, and Krede, she's expecting. I think she's gonna be on leave until July. So she's due for delivery, I think, in end of April. So if you're in touch with Krede, send her a note. She's active in social media, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and wish her all the best. Excellent. Thank you so much. And so the other account, TQQ, is running up. So I still have 10,000 shares on the other account as well in the Alliance. It's going up. This one was also really down. So, I mean, now the wave is turning for me. That's good. The Lambo is starting building. All right. Thanks. Brian, anything from your trades?
No, I think he covered it. CCIV got a nice, some nice moves on plug. But I
you
think
did a really
have
nice
to,
short.
had to let things.
Yeah, Brian did a really nice short on plug. I don't know exactly what was the situation with them, but you did a nice short around here. You got this cut. What was this sell off with plug and stuff? I don't know.
Well, FCell had earnings, and I think it was sort of sympathy. All these stocks were moving in sympathy, but a lot of them are coming back. CCIV seems to be coming back here, or at least it's popping up to near high of day. So
FCell.
Plug's looking strong still. It's looking like it's going to continue higher.
Yeah, FCell eventually came back up, and again, our direction bias was correct, but I couldn't catch anything, and it's just messed up with me. Anyways, guys, life is going on even with this bad trading. Thank you, guys, and so see you all tonight. By the way, tonight we have the webinar by Ardi. He's going to talk about risk management and building a portfolio, and I'll see you all tonight, and if not, tomorrow in the chat, guys.